All right, looks like we are live. Gonna check on. Here's the
Excuse
see.
me.
Bless you, ma'am. Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Checking to see if we are live. Do you see where we're live on here, Makita?
Not yet. I did not get a
Notification.
notification. No.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if we're there too. There we are. Well, I see us live on LinkedIn.
Okay.
All right. So we are live. Fantastic. Welcome, ladies, to another Career Tip Tuesday.
Happy
Right?
Tuesday, y'all.
Happy Tuesday, and I am your co-host, Sherry Sims, founder of Black Career Women's Network, and then we have the amazing.
Hi. Amazing. Thank you so much. You're amazing. My name is Makita Matthews. I am the Chief Networking Officer for BCWN.
Hi, Letitia. Thank you for tuning in. So for those of you just now watching, please put in the chat box where you are watching from. We wanted to make sure that we see where you are tuning in from and watching. That'd be great. So we're going to keep this rolling because I know that we only got 30 minutes to share this. So what we thought we would do this time around is have a specific topic. And so what we're going to be talking about today on part one is 10 good choices that empower Black women's lives. This is from a book that was written by Dr. Grace Cornish. And you can find the book on Amazon, any of those places. It's a great book. She also has a book also called 10 Bad Choices that do not empower
Ooh.
Black women's lives.
Ooh.
So, and that one's a good one too. That
Mm-hmm.
one's really super good.
Mm-hmm.
But I have had this book, and I don't have it with me today. I actually ran up and forgot it before I left the house today. But I've had this book since I was in my 20s, I would say. That's how old the book is. But guess what? A lot of these principles still apply to this day. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're going to be talking about these. So we're going to start off with number one, which is embracing the skin you're in. So Makia and I are come from two different generations, but I love her because she's just a delight
Oh.
to know. And I learned from her, right? As an old head, I learned so much from her, and that's why I said it. I think it's always good for generations to interact with each other because you can learn from each other, and she kind of keeps my mind in a different place. So,
Oh.
tell me, when it comes to
Thank
embracing the
you.
skin you're in, me and you come from two different generations as Black females, right?
That's right. That's right.
And so, and here's the thing, you all, for all of you who are watching, we wanted to talk about 10 Black things that empower Black women's lives. And we know that some of these things are not career related, but guess what? They could be in another way. So we
Mm-hmm.
just feel like,
Mm-hmm.
why not have a conversation about these things that impact us as Black women overall?
That's right.
Um, that could be a combination of that. Okay, so back to embracing the skin you're in. What does that mean for you in your stage of life where you are, Makita, in terms of
Yeah,
embracing the skin
that's
you're in?
a great question. Being confident in myself, my abilities, my inabilities, so that I could delegate to somebody else or go seek um, counsel. So understanding what I'm not good at, what I don't know. So that's what I mean by that. But it just really means being confident in who I am. That's what embracing the skin that I'm in means to me. What about for
I
you?
love that. I think it's changed for me over the decades.
How so? That's good. That's good.
I think it's changed for me over the decades. So if we think about, career and then life as a woman going from being a single person to being married and having a kid and divorced, for being transparent, and then still being ambitious about having a career, having a very active, progressive career. uh, I think I've always had to be mindful of who I am as a Black female and how I show up and how I'm being perceived. And the older I got, and the more I paid attention to the people, places, and things around me, that definitely helped me to embrace more about who I am,
Mhm,
and know that it's okay not to change those things.
mhm.
Um, and not worry about trying to be validated or accepted, and really just show up and be who I am, regardless of who's comfortable with it or not.
That's right.
Um, and so that changed over time. But I think the more that I became more, like I said, aware of people, places, and things, it became easier for me to do that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. I like that.
Hmm. Yeah. It made it
Yeah,
easier for me to do that.
I
Um,
can imagine, yeah. Ladies in the chat that are watching either in the app or in, LinkedIn Live, what does embracing the skin that you're in mean to you right now in this moment of time? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know what it means to you. Again, different stages, different times in our lives. So,
Mhm,
we get comfortable with certain things about ourselves that maybe we weren't when we were, in
mhm,
different stages. So I think that's important. All right,
mhm,
while we're waiting for those answers, let's jump into number two.
mhm.
Um, accepting better love, not bitter love.
Ooh, what
I
does that
know.
even mean? Tell them, Sherry.
Okay. Well, we know Dr. Cornish was talking about when it comes to relationships, right? But for
Mhm,
us here at BCWN, in terms of careers, I think Makita and I were thinking about, when it comes to better love and not bitter love, we're thinking it from the perspective of looking for better, healthy workplace relationships, and not holding on to those toxic behaviors or people who have treated you
mhm,
badly
mhm,
or did you wrong or whatever the
mhm,
case is in the workplace, and letting go of that.
mhm,
So when you do move on to another workplace,
mhm.
you're not taking that workplace baggage with you, because we can't get better now, you all.
Yes, we can.
We
Yes, we
can get
can.
still be mad at what happened. What Becky did to us in
Mhm,
1974 in the workplace,
mhm,
and here we are
mhm,
20 years later, still
mhm.
mad at what happened.
Yep, yep, yep.
Just saying.
Yep, 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 yep. So it sounds like, leaving the past in the past, not letting those past experiences show up in your present day emotions. There's a difference between, gosh, what do I wanna say? Red flags and triggers, right?
Yeah.
So, some people, they may act the same, you might see the same personality from 10 years ago to now, but just kind of learning from that experience and figuring out how to navigate through that
Hmm.
to get you in a healthy place, and not show up as bitter. I think that's kind of what um, um, kind of another thing to note as well. So
Yeah,
if
I
it,
know we typically see comments coming through. I see we've got people that's in here watching, but put in the comments, you guys. Some of you are you. Are look. If you're bitter, just say so. Okay, it's okay to be transparent and share it. If
Mhm,
you're mad, if something happened 10 years ago in the workplace and you ain't let
mhm,
it go yet, we need you to work on
mhm,
letting that go, right?
mhm,
Because it can be
mhm, mhm,
impacting your
mhm.
workplace relationships and the people that you're working with, and even just probably how you're progressing in your career if you're still
Yeah,
holding on to some of those things. And
yeah, yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, out of transparency for those who are watching, I do have one person that I'm still kind of still a little salty with
yeah.
from
I
something that happened, from an experience that I had with this person. Oh my goodness, maybe I think maybe 13 years ago. Not as bad as I used to, but I think if
Mhm.
I ever had the opportunity to see them in person, I would have to say, you know what, your behavior really was uncalled for. And
Yeah.
I just have to let them know.
Well, that was a very professional way to say it. That's not bitterness at all. That's not bitterness at all.
Well,
Um,
that's being respectful.
that's
We just want to keep it
definitely being
PG for the camera,
respectful.
right?
Yes, stay PG, y'all, and especially in the workplace. But if you know, but I think I think for me, it's I just being an athlete. I think I'm the hardest on myself. Um, and so I can internalize a lot. And I think back to some of the stuff that happened when I was younger, and yes, may have had some words, may have had XYZ happen, but sometimes I turn that into, okay, Makita, what could you have done better? Why did you allow this to happen, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Um, and so being bitter towards myself, right? That's kind of,
Mm.
being bitter towards myself. But um, I don't know if anybody else does this, but I've had to learn how to give myself grace. I don't know, everything. I've not experienced everything. And that's where mentors and good friends like Sherry come in. I can't tell you how many times I'll call, "Ooh, guess what happened today at work," right? And we have those we have those real conversations. But I just want to say, give yourself some grace. We don't know everything. We're not going to the first time we experience something is the first time we experience something. And so as you look back, yes, hindsight is 2020, but learn, give yourself grace, and
Mhm.
realize how you need to navigate that situation or that experience in the future.
Yeah, I love that. It's good advice that you gave, Makita, is talking about giving yourself grace. Because if we think about, uh, uh, again, going back to that bitter piece, we'll hang on to it. I have to share what Beverly said, because Beverly says there was someone and her name was Becky, for real.
Mhm. Yeah.
I understand, Beverly. Thank you for sharing, because it can get tough. All
Mhm.
right, let's go ahead and go to number three, which is making money work for you. This is a broad conversation. I almost kind of wish we had Deborah Owens on here so she could talk about what that really, because she, how she has her,
Mhm.
her course in talking about, I forgot what it's called. It's the purse. She's gonna kill me because I can't get it right if she sees this.
Deborah, we know. We just
Deborah,
are
we know.
forgetting
We just
right
ain't
now.
saying it right.
Please forgive
But
us.
let's talk about making money work for you.
Yeah.
And again, I always like to talk about this multi-generational, because again, with you and I being in different, coming from different generations, and it's good to have that perspective as for our viewers who are watching, who could be watching from different generations too.
Mhm.
What does that mean for you now? We're in the stage you're in, and I'll kind of talk about what it means for me at this stage too.
Gosh, making money work for me, what does that mean? Of course, my immediate thought goes to investments. It goes to security in my later life,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, retirement. So, making sure I am um, putting money away to grow while I'm sleeping. But also, y'all, I believe in the Lord. I am a Christian, and I fully believe tithing helps. You might tithe, and then you get something that you've been praying for or that you've been fasting about. So I believe in that. But making money work for you is investing to get a ROI, a greater ROI back, whether that's putting money away, whether that's and like I said, investments, tithing, what have you. But that's what it really means for me. But also, as I am transitioning into a leader, um, metaphorically, I'm thinking about money in a metaphoric way, and okay, well, who can I invest in? Who do I plant a seed, and who can I develop in order to help grow the mission, to help grow the
Mm-hmm.
vision, to help um, continue to progress whatever we're doing. So I think about that kind of in a metaphoric way.
No, I like that. I think I like what you said about investing because I think that we always think about we're always told to invest and put back for retirement and all those things. But I think you can also make your money work for you now by investing in yourself in terms of your professional development, right?
Yes, yes,
um,
yes.
and also developing others as a leader, because a good leader is someone who's going to develop the people that works for them and
Mhm,
then allow them to leave the nest and move on so they can grow.
mhm,
And then they will continue to have people they can develop
mhm.
and grow and do a great job for them. So I like that analogy that you gave, at the stage where you are. And that can work for any stage of your career
Mhm.
when you think about that
Yeah,
perspective. And even for me at this age, it's
yeah,
all still about money for to
yeah,
retire. Still
yeah,
investing in myself in terms of making it work for me in that instance
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Um, so I think it's all about what it is that you're trying to accomplish.
Yes,
When
yes,
you want your money to work for you,
I agree.
you definitely want to make sure. Some people just want to be debt free. Others may want to have specific things or live a certain lifestyle, but
Mhm.
it takes money to make money,
Yeah.
even when you're working for someone else. So making it work for you, one, as my philosophy, save some, spend some,
Mhm,
you
mhm.
know,
That's right,
and
that's right.
also take time to enjoy your money in terms of being able to
Yes.
take those trips. Because I know Makita, look, I'm always telling her,
Vacation.
where you at this week? Okay.
Yes, yes, she does. She does, yes. And investing in yourself is huge. I definitely agree, and you could do that various ways, like Sherry, kinda said. You could go back and get a degree if it's needed, right? If it's going to return that if that investment's going to return, going to get a certification, but also networking events that may cost a little bit of money, or joining industry
Conferences.
groups, yeah,
Hmm.
conferences, right? Because you're spending money, but you might make 10 connections that can help you, put the puzzle pieces together or connect you
Yep,
with this person or, help to get you that job and advocate for you. So investing in yourself can look a myriad of different ways, but that is key.
I agree. I agree completely. And then Deborah Owens, she's kind of what we could be BCWN because it's kind of like our in-house financial. She's our financial wealth coach.
Mhm.
Um, and so, or she calls herself America's wealth coach is what she calls herself,
Yes,
which
she
is, I
does.
think, is amazing.
Yeah.
But she definitely is someone that I advise anyone to connect with. We do post her events that she does in our events calendar on our website inside of our community.
Hmm.
So if you're someone who's looking to make your money work for you in those traditional ways when it comes to investments and investing your money and wanting to see it grow, she
Yeah.
definitely absolutely is someone that you could
Hmm.
connect with.
That's
Um,
right.
can,
That's
can
right.
you put her website? I think it's a Deborah Owens dot. I think yeah, inside of the website. I mean, inside of the link for us. I think we can do that so people can have that to see the resource.
Wealthy You LLC.
Yes,
That's what it
wealthy
is.
you. Yep, wealthy you FOC. Mm-hmm.
Wealthy, regularly spelled, and then you, the
You.
letter U.com.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then we'll put it up here. wealthyu.com. It's a
Mhm.
wealthy you or wealthy you LLC. I think it's wealthy
Well,
you, isn't it?
it's wealthyu.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Okay, perfect. We'll get it up there for you all.
yep,
And Deborah Owens, shout out to you because you're amazing. She helps make you,
yes,
and she works with Black women. So this is what she does, and so we want to make sure we give a shout out to her and
mm,
someone you can be working with as well.
yep,
All
yep.
right. So number 4, turning stumbling blocks into stepping stones. This is a good one.
Ooh, yes,
Hmm.
man. Uh-huh, and don't be afraid to stumble. One of my mentors says, "Sometimes you gotta do it afraid. Sometimes you have to do it
Hmm.
afraid." That's how you gain experience. But I think for this one, turning stumbling blocks into stepping stones is really all about learning from your failures.
Yeah, now I know you think about it as learning from your failures. I look at it as being able to work through any
Mhm,
obstacles and challenges you may have, right?
mhm, mhm,
And as Black females in life and career, we hit roadblocks, or we hit
mhm,
pitfalls,
mhm,
we hit things that may derail us from what our
mhm,
initial goals. But then, how are we
mhm,
going to bounce back and get back on track?
mhm,
So I
mhm.
think that for me, turning stumbling blocks into stepping stones
Yeah,
is a good one.
yeah.
And if we have more time, we could actually break down some of the things in Dr. Cornish's book that she has around these. But we only got 30 minutes, so we got to give you the high level details,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
For
That's
that.
right.
But I do think that when you think about stumbling blocks and stepping stones, we have to be realistic and know that our careers and sometimes even our lives are not going to always be on the straight path.
Mhm,
We already know that careers can go like this,
mhm.
but life can too. So preparing yourself, being mentally for being able to turn it around, I think
Mhm.
it's important to have the right
Very
mindset.
important. Very important. Very important.
Hmm.
I'd love to know, some of you ladies who are listening and tuning in, what are some of the stumbling blocks you've had to kind of navigate, and how did you turn them into stepping stones? So go ahead and put that in the chat for us to talk about, chit chat about, but we'd love to know.
No, I think it's a good one because if you think about I think about some of the roadblocks I've had. I'm like, "Woo." So I think back to them. It's like I'm exhausted thinking about it. So I already know what I
Yeah.
was going through. It was
Yeah.
about exhausting.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do have to think quick on your feet when you have to
Mhm.
pivot.
Mhm.
Um, and which means that you may have to take a route, like Nikita said, that it's going to be scary, but that may need to be the road you go down in order to make it happen. It
Mhm.
may not have been the route you wanted to initially take, but that's the route that it ended up being. And sometimes when it's that way, it's for a purpose.
Mhm.
Um, I was reading Ephesians last night,
Mhm.
and I was reading the verse where it talks about a time for everything,
Mm.
and this breaks
Mhm.
down the different, and all of that. And I was just,
Mhm.
when you think
Mhm.
about, and I can't remember, forgive me, please. But if you go to, I think it's in Ephesians 2, I can't remember which one, but the time for everything, it resonated with me because it helped me to understand that, when you
Yeah.
feel certain things, you have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
understand that there is a time for everything. And that if the season isn't feeling good, guess what? It's a season of feeling good. I mean, not feeling good, and you have to go through it.
Mhm.
So, um, Tanika's got a question. You want to read that out? Um,
Yeah, would love to. Would like to know how working women reconcile professional aspirations with the demands of family.
that's an excellent one.
That's a really great
Hmm.
question. I don't have my own family at this point. No kids, no husband at this point. So Sherry, I will defer to you.
Well, when I was married, I had two little ones in grade school. So it was time management. It was I had a supportive partner,
Mhm,
in terms of being able to manage the demands of family and work. We just kind of split things up. I mean, I think sometimes we have to figure out who's doing what and when,
mhm, mhm,
and work together to do that. But I do think that now more than ever, when it comes to the workplace with women, um, I think it is absolutely more acceptable to reconcile your professional aspirations with demands of family by, work life balance, negotiating,
mhm,
working remotely 3 days a week. I think the flexibility is there more now than it ever has been,
mhm.
to balance that out. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, and I don't have any little ones at home anymore, but I tell you
Mhm.
what, I mean, I enjoy a Thursday, Friday at home, being able to work, do some work, and then go downstairs and put a load of laundry on during the week,
That's right. That's right.
right?
That's right.
Um, so I can imagine if you're someone who has demands of a family, whether you have children who are like you
Mhm,
have, after school activities and things like
mhm,
that. I know working remotely would definitely would have been something for me that would have helped me to keep things in alignment at home much better.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
say, Tanika, um, if you have an opportunity to voice that workplace balance and what's needed for you, ask for it.
Mhm. Yeah,
Hmm.
I agree. Again, no husband, no kids, at this point, but, um, some of my good mentors and some folks that I've met have always, always, always told me that you have to set your boundaries. Don't let the workplace, set your boundaries for you, and you have to learn how to say no. And sometimes when
Hmm.
you say no, maybe it's no, not right now, no, not yet, etc. Um, but I really, really loved, when one of them told me, I set boundaries. I let everybody know I'm not having meetings before 9 o'clock. At 3:30, I'm leaving because I am a
Hmm.
mother. And after 3:30, I am a mother. And so your work email may not be responded to until the morning, right? So setting those boundaries and letting people know, and hopefully, maybe some of that will help you to reconcile your aspirations. Because, like Sherry said, it's all about time management. I think we should
And
we should have aspirations. We should go for the
mhm.
world, but figuring out where to put what task and this and that, that is all about time management.
Yeah, and I would say too, if you have a goal to say, "Hey, I want to aspire to be a VP in the next year," right?
Mhm.
Start looking ahead. Start looking a year before that aspiration or that goal, and set the goal, and then really look at realistically what is it going to take you to get there. Does that
Mhm.
mean that you are going to have to increase your visibility or take on a little bit more work in order for you to build those relationships or whatever it is? You got to
Mm,
look at it logistically and say, what is it going to take for me to get there? That way you can plan ahead of time accordingly. And then bring
mhm,
your partner into the fold of that conversation. Because if it's
mhm,
going to impact your home life, you want to make sure that they understand what it's going to take for you to get there and what the benefit is. So if you sit down and say, babe, I want to be VP next year, and this is what it's going to take for me to get there, right? And
mhm,
then lay it out. And then, that way you two can work through
mhm,
what that's going to look like, how it's going to, if it's especially if it's impacting what you need to do at home, and you two can work together to help support in that aspiration. So that's what I would say for that. And then the next thing too is, dang, I forgot what it was. See, that's that age, Makita catching up with me. I forgot what I was going to say. That's a shame. Okay,
well, it's
when
okay.
I remember, I'll come back.
It's okay. We have, I have 1 minute left. I have a hard stop, so let's quickly move on to number 5, avoiding the only fly in the buttermilk thinking. Wow, wow. Sherry,
Yeah,
can
and
you
we're not
explain that
making these
one?
up, okay? Yeah, we're
No.
not making these are from Dr. Cornish's book, okay?
Yes.
Which you can
Yeah.
find on Amazon, and just the book. Like I said, the book has been around for a very long time, but the gems are still very much true to this
Mhm.
day, still. Um,
Okay.
but I would say that the only fly in the buttermilk thinking it's only me that's dealing with this, or it could be only am I the only person? Now,
Mhm,
let's just
mhm,
clear this up. As Black women, we absolutely know that there are specific experiences that we have that our counterparts may not experience. So don't get me
mhm,
wrong.
mhm,
But what we also need to understand too, that there could be some universal experiences that are happening, specifically like just being a woman, right?
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
or it could be specific to maybe it's the work that you do, right?
mhm,
Maybe it's something other people experience too. So we have to come out of this thinking that I'm the only one, right? Yeah, you
mhm.
might be the only Black woman, and you may have a specific experience related to that. But then,
Yeah,
what else could someone else could be going through along with you? So
right.
if you avoid that mindset, you also will avoid what's the word I'm looking for, Makita? The victimization that comes
The
along with,
victimization.
yeah, of feeling that way.
Mhm,
So I
mhm,
think it's important that if we're experiencing something, and that we really take time to decipher Is it really
Mhm,
about me because of who I am, because of my gender and race, or is this about
mhm,
gender, or this is about
mhm,
something completely different, right?
mhm,
So
mhm.
we have to stay clear
That's right.
of being able to have that type of
That's right.
mentality.
That's right.
Hmm.
That's right.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I have to hop off, but it has been a pleasure. I know Sherry will probably stay on for a couple more minutes, but Atlanta ladies, I know you have been asking. Please be patient as we get together. Our mentor summit, it is coming. We want to make sure that we have the correct space, correct people, and just make it more fabulous than it was last year. So please be patient with us.
Absolutely.
And for all of you that are in Atlanta and that are watching, please connect with me on LinkedIn and let me know that y'all that you were watching, or maybe you found us via the website or what have you. Would love to connect. But thank you all, and Sherry, and the rest of the world. I will talk to y'all later.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. See you later,
Bye.
Makita. All right, just want to let you all know if you want to connect with us, you can find us at bcwnetwork.com, or you can download our mobile app through Google or Google Play, or through the Apple Store. And that way you can stay connected with our community and have access to our resources and everything that we have in terms of supporting your career development. So please come back next week as we do part two of this conversation, which is all about 10 good choices that empower Black women's lives. And we're going to talk about the other five, the other half of those, and then we will wrap it up for the series. So I hope you all have an amazing rest of your work week, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye, everyone.